Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. The Minimum Wage Commission on Tuesday set South Korea's legal minimum wage for next year at 10,700 won or about $7.20 per hour. The new rate marks a 3.7% increase from this year's minimum wage of 10,320 won. The decision came after lengthy negotiations involving representatives from labor, business, and the public. During Tuesday's meeting, the two sides submitted a total of 13 revised proposals in an effort to reach a compromise. Labor representatives initially demanded a minimum wage of 12,000 won an hour, arguing that workers need greater support to keep up with rising living costs. Business groups, meanwhile, called for the wage to remain unchanged at this year's level, citing concerns over rising labor costs and a burden on small businesses. Korean Prime Minister Han Sung-suk has ordered the government to strengthen its emergency response posture following the renewed military conflict between the United States and Iran. Chairing an emergency economic review meeting on Wednesday, Han said the government should treat higher oil prices and supply chain disruptions as an ongoing risk. She called for close monitoring of crude oil and naphtha supplies while accelerating efforts to diversify supply chains. The Prime Minister also instructed relevant ministries to prevent energy price shocks from spilling over into people's livelihoods. The remarks came as global benchmark Brent crude climbed to $87 a barrel on Tuesday for the first time since mid-June. Korea's import prices turned lower in June due to a decrease in global oil prices. Data released Tuesday by the Bank of Korea showed the import price index decreased 4.4% from the previous month. This is the steepest monthly decline in 3.5 years. The central bank said lower prices for coal and petroleum products drove the decline in import prices. Export prices were unchanged from May, as gains in semiconductor prices and a weaker Korean won offset lower petroleum product prices. South Korea added 63,000 jobs in June on-year, marking the first rebound in 2 months. According to the Ministry of Data and Statistics on Wednesday, the number of people aged 15 and over reached 29.15 million in June, an increase of 63,000 compared to the same month last year. The employment rate for people aged 15 and over came to 63.4%, down 0.2 percentage points from a year earlier, continuing a downward trend for a third straight month. By industry, employment in the manufacturing sector fell by 97,000, marking the 24th consecutive month of decline. The number of employed people aged 15 to 29 decreased by 197,000 compared to a year earlier. The National Museum of Korea saw a record-breaking number of visitors in the first half of this year. According to the museum on Wednesday, nearly 3.8 million people visited between January and June, marking a nearly 40% jump from the same period last year. The number of foreign visitors also saw a sharp increase, surging nearly 70% over the past year. With daily visitors averaging 17,000, which is above the museum's recommended capacity of 15,000, the museum is now pushing to expand its facilities and organizational structure to manage any overcrowding. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.